Good Tuesday morning, Mount Olive Church family and friends, everybody joining us online. Another week of devotions, and get her screen pulled up here full screen, so you all may not be able to see it, or you can probably see it the other way, but I can't see it. So anyway, I hope you got to be with us Sunday for Brother Tommy's message, and so I want to start out real quick and say I said this Sunday night at church how much I appreciate Brother Tommy. He made the comment when he got up, said that TJ pulled the end of the bench, way down on the end of the bench to get him. And I made the comment last night or Sunday night at church that, if you've got Michael Jordan, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, sitting on the end of the bench, it doesn't matter where he's sitting. You grab him and you put him in the game, right? So, man, I have all my life grew up under Brother Tommy's preaching, him, Brother Randy Sturgill, and have always just looked up to him so much, and he is so wise and so anointed in his teaching and his preaching. What the Lord's done with him, I appreciate him. I appreciate him a lot. And so the other thing I wanted to bring up, I hope you watch Monday's devotion. As Pastor was talking about the battles and the sound of the battle, and he played the trumpet. You need to go watch that if you didn't get to watch it, man. I'm thinking we may need to get a horn or a trumpet or something in our praise choir and let Pastor start playing. Just go watch that. That was amazing. Oh, sorry, Pastor, just had to do that. One day the trumpet's going to sound, and it'll sound better than what the pastor did, okay? We're looking forward to that. So Tuesday's devotion here, who will stand in the gap, is where I want to go with this. And Brother Tommy talked about this here, and I'm looking back at my notes here, a few little things, but I put this on the screen of who will stand in the gap, and probably the second half of his message he talked about this, but he also mentioned this quote at the very start. He asked this question to everybody that was there. Who feels like something's going on today? Who feels like something's going on in our country, in our world today, that is attacking our values and our morals and the things of God? Wow, that was such an important question. Surely we all would have an answer for that, right? We feel like something is attacking the things of this world, and the enemy is closing in on the camp and getting into the camp and into the churches today. And I thought that statement was really good. And so I kind of wanted to lead with that. And then I want to use this scripture here that he used in Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 30. And he says, I sought for a man among them. I looked, I went here and I went there, and I didn't know where else to turn. But he says, I sought for a man among them that they should make up the hedge or the protection or the border or the guard to stand behind, to hide behind, to stand in the gap and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none. And then he went on and he talked a little bit about the scripture in Isaiah, and there's a time when, and Brother Tommy mentioned this, that, he come and the Lord placed the coals upon his lips, and, and he made the statement, then he says, here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. So I want to ask you this today, as we look and Pastor talked about the battle and the things of today's culture and how it attacks us and the things that we face. Never more prevalent than it is today in our lives, in all of our lives. And whether it's for our children, whether it's for our marriage, whether it's for our churches, the devil is attacking. The trumpet is sounding. There's a sound in the camp, and it don't sound right? I think that's the way Brother Tommy mentioned it Sunday. There is a sound in the camp, and it don't sound right. And there's this warning is there that we're all listening. And so my challenge to you today with this devotion, and then I'm going to finish, be quick here to finish, but my question to you for today for this devotion is, Are you willing to stand in the gap? Who do we have that'll stand in the gap? Church family. Who do we have that'll stand in the gap at Mount Olive Church? Who are the leaders? Who are the deacons? Who are the teachers? Who are the ministers that will stand in the gap for Mount Olive Church? Let's go a little bit further. Let's get a little bit personal. Maybe you found this devotion today and you don't come to our church and maybe you watch or listen online, but you can't be with us. I'll ask you this question. Who is standing in the gap for your family? Moms and dads? Who's standing in the gap for their children? Who's standing in the gap for their marriage? Who's standing in the gap for their loved ones? We've got to be able to stand in that gap, to fill that gap. And, we always have God, right? He's always that protection. He always raises up that standard and that barrier of protection. But we need men and women that'll stand up today for what is right and stand in the gap and be like the one that says, here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. I hope this finds you well today. I hope you all have a great week. Be thankful. Be thankful in your prayers. When you go to the Lord in prayer today, I want to urge you with this, and I'm going to be quiet. I want to urge you today in your prayer. When you go to the prayer today, go to the Lord in prayer. Be thankful in your prayer. Before you ask of a thing, be thankful. I hope you all have a great week. Remember to pray for me, and I'm always praying for you. God bless.